This episode of the Worship Together podcast is presented by Planning Center. Planning Center Services is the all-in-one way to manage your church service.
Now I have resurrection power living on the inside, Jesus. You have given us freedom.
I'm your host, Jimmy Williams. This week, I sat down with Chris Tomlin. Well, and just looking ahead a little bit, of course, we mentioned earlier, we just finished up a video for Resurrection Power, which is your new single.
Yes.
And by the time this podcast is aired, it'll be out there for people to
That's so cool.
to check out. And man, this is an amazing song, and we've just chatted about this a little bit today. Feels like a real timely, significant song for the church. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those songs that really corporately. We can all sing this in church and together as a church, but it's also the song in my car when I'm driving to work. Mm-hmm. That's such a personal ministry thing. But talk a little bit about this song. You had some incredible things to say earlier, but just share a little bit about this song and why it was really important to you.
Where do I even start? There's so many things to say about this song. I first heard it through Pat and Ed Cash, and if you know my history of music, you know Ed Cash is a big part of it. And Ed's one of the writers in this song, but the main writer is a guy named Ryan Ellis out in California, worship leader. And the chorus is just it is. When I first heard it, I thought I love the way the rhythm of it, the melody of it. You just want to sing it instantly. I don't even know what I'm singing. I just want to sing it. And then when you realize what you're singing, it just takes on a whole nother level. It reminded me a little bit of Angel Armies when Ed and I had written that song, and how it's this. I could hear people sing in the church, but it is a very personal song. Yeah. It's a song of hope. It's a song of power, of overcoming, and that's what Resurrection Power is. When it's speaking what it's saying is that the power of God, the resurrection power that raised Jesus from the dead, is living inside of you and me. And you and I talked about this earlier, but it's not. We don't really wake up thinking about that. I know I don't every day, thinking like, wow, I'm waking up this morning, and guess what? I got the resurrection power of God inside of me. I wish I did look at myself and say that every day, but I don't. And this song is so important because it's reminding us that the old is gone. It's passed away. It is no longer. The new has come. The newness of life has come. You have been raised from death to life. And that's the reason we sing. That's the reason we have a song. That's the reason we have anything. That's the reason there's a podcast today. That's the reason that all of this exists. That's the reason there's a church, is because Paul even said it in the New Testament. I thought it was so powerful how Paul said, if there is no resurrection from the dead, then we're all fools. Yeah. He said, you are the most to be pitied. He goes, if there is no resurrection from the dead. Think about that. That's pretty straight talk. Yeah. And that is the truth today. And that is our hope. And that is our faith. That there is resurrection power, that Jesus is not in the grave, but Jesus was raised from the dead. And that same power is in us. And that's what allows us to live a life, an overcoming life, and to overcome the things that are so much. I mean, there's a lot of headwind in life. There's a lot of things coming at people. Even talking on this podcast, I'm sure there's many people listening to this, maybe, that there's a lot of stuff coming at you. Whether it's your own health or your work or your finances or relationships, or there's something coming at us if you live long enough. And this song is a song right in the middle of that, to sing right into the middle of that. Yeah. It's not only just a song for church on Sunday at Easter Sunday. This is everyday kind of song of reminding ourselves that, wow, that's true, man. The Holy Spirit lives inside of me. That is the power of God. That's the resurrection power of God. And I think it's going to be, I'm looking forward to seeing how this song just kind of translates across the country in all kind of different forms across the church. It was beautiful to see that with Good Father. When I heard that song, I didn't write it, and I thought, I want to take whatever influence or platform God's given me, and I want everybody to hear this song. Same with Resurrection Power. Every record I've done, there's always been 1 to 2 songs like that. I could go down the list of Indescribable, God of this City, Everlasting God, Good Father, and the last record, and now this one, Resurrection Power. I feel the same thing. I think, wow, man, this could be really something that people need to hear this, because I know in my own life, if I need to hear it, then I think, well, maybe other people need to as well.
I'm no longer bound by sin and darkness, living in the light of your goodness. You have given us freedom. Now I have resurrection power, living on the inside, Jesus. You have given us freedom, and I'm no longer bound.
You can listen to this full interview and all of our Worship Together podcast episodes on Apple Podcast and everywhere podcasts are found.